Hey everybody, it's Craig here, and if you haven't already heard, Blackmagic Design just announced the new Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K Pro. So it's the 6K Pro version. So let's get into the specs of that camera really quickly. All right, so it's got a new design to the body, which I think makes it look a little bit more ergonomic. It looks a lot like a Canon DSLR. I think that's a plus as far as the design, although it doesn't look any better weather sealed than the previous 6K or the 4K model. But I do think the design is an improvement. Now there is a bit of a tilty screen on the back. Now it's not a flip out screen like you would get on the new Sony or like the Panasonic GH5. So some of the YouTubers and vloggers probably aren't going to be too happy about that. But it does tilt up and it does tilt down. And one of the other improvements of the tilt screen is it's 1500 nits. So that's super bright. That would be brighter than, say, your iPhone by maybe 50%. So that screen might actually work in daylight. Now, another thing, which is additional equipment, and I don't think it's that necessary for myself, but some people might like it, there's a eyepiece that you can use, and that's a separate charge. We'll get to that at the end of the video, but anyway, for those of you who want an eyepiece, there's an option for that coming up. But anyway, one thing I think that makes it better is there's built-in ND filters in this version. So the 6K Pro is the name, and you get a 2-stop, 4-stop, and 6-stop ND filter, and that's built into the camera. Now it appears that it's the same sensor as the regular 6K model, but on all the new models, and this one, there's going to be the 5 color science. So version 5 color science. I think previously it was the version 4. So the version 5 is what the 12K camera uses. So that'll be on this camera as well. So you'll have the version 5 color science on this. You'll have ND filters. You're going to have a much brighter screen that tilts. So those are some of the positives. Also, too, there's one other thing that I think is going to make a lot of people happier is they're moving to the Sony NPF 570 style battery. And also there's an optional grip that will use those Sony style batteries. So you'll have 2 of those in the grip. So when you attach it, you'll have 3 batteries all in one compartment. And if you want to take the tray out and change those 2 batteries, you can still run your camera on the one that's inside the camera. So I think there's some of the things that were addressed with issues about the original 4K and 6K. So you're going to have different batteries, hopefully better battery life. Probably still going to need that grip though. Also, you've got some built-in NDs. I think that's a positive. A brighter screen that tilts a little bit. I think that's a positive. Also, too, you have an option for the eyepiece, as I mentioned earlier. So for those of you who like to use an eyepiece, say, in very bright conditions, that's also an additional charge. Although I think it's a little bit pricey. You can check out their website. There's going to be all the pricing. So it's going to vary a little bit between, say, the US and Canadian pricing, in Australia, obviously, in the UK, but it's a little bit more in Canada than the 6K model. So it's about $700 more. It's about $3,500 Canadian. I think it's roughly $2,500 US. Don't quote me on that. Check out their website. Now, I don't know if you can order it just yet. You might be able to put a pre-order in at B&H. I'll put a link below if there is one up by the time you see this video. But I'd like to hear your feedback. Is this enough to make you jump to Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K Pro? Now, I was thinking about this before I bought this camera that I'm shooting with right now. So for those of you who've been following me for a while, I was shooting on the Panasonic GH5 for the last 3 years or so. I just got a new camera for my YouTube channel, and I'm using it right now. So guess us in the comment section below what camera I'm using to shoot this video and what lens. Now, I was thinking about the Blackmagic 4K and 6K before I decided on this camera, and I'm glad I didn't get the regular 6K because now they just announced this. I literally got this camera 2 weeks ago. But although I'm using this camera and I think it's great, I am a little curious about the 6K Pro. I mean, built-in ND filters, that's pretty cool. A bright screen that you can use, a new redesigned body, a better battery grip. It's tempting. I find it tempting because I do like the images coming out of the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera line, and I do like the color science, so we'll have to wait and see whether I jump on that one or not. But anyway, let me know in the comments section below, is there enough improvements added to this camera for you? Now, it doesn't seem like there's any autofocus, but a lot of people using cinema cameras aren't too worried about autofocus, so it doesn't seem like there's any autofocus improvements. It's still using the EF mount, and it's still a 35 sensor, so an APS-C type sensor. So the sensor size is the same. I know there was some speculation whether they would come out with a full frame cinema camera, but it's basically the 6K sensor, but the Pro version with a few improvements. And I think they're pretty good improvements. I do like the brighter screen. I like the fact that it tilts a bit. I like the fact that you have the built-in NDs. I think it's an upgrade. Also, too, you can use two different mics. Although they're mini XLR connectors, you can use two separate mics now attached to the body. Also, you can still use an SD connected as well as regular memory cards. So a lot of the same features, just some improvements. Like I said, the body's redesigned, but it's not necessarily any better weather sealing. It appears to be sort of the same kind of plastic housing as before. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of the new 6K Pro? Are you going to pre-order this? Are you excited about this? Did they include everything that you wanted, or are you disappointed? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell notification to get email updates. And if you found this video helpful, slam that like button. It really helps this video get more views. So go ahead, boom, hit that like button, and stay tuned for my next video. I'm going to launch a video in a couple of days. I took the Fuji X-T4 out for a couple of weeks, and I shot some video and some stills, and I've got a review video coming out for the Fujifilm X-T4. I know it's been out for a while, but just getting around to it. Anyway, keep an eye out for that video. It's going to come out probably in a day or two. Anyway, thanks for watching this video again. Make sure you hit that like button. I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you later.